Well, we are approaching that 1 hour mark I was talking about earlier. Very quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to record the last hour of commentary here for you, just to make it a bit entertaining to watch. Anyway, after 2 hours of running, actually, with 1 hour remaining, this is the standing as follows. Henrik Høyer, who's just had a tremendous crash, and he got away with that, incredibly lucky, that sod. He's on lap 57. He's leading the race at the moment with 56 laps done, soon to be 57 laps done. And of course he's going for the pit lane to fix his broken car now. He will probably have a lot of suspension damage. He even touches the wall there again. Peter Munkholm is in second position. He is almost an entire lap down. Almost. He's 1 minute and 55 seconds behind, so that's as clear to a lap down, it doesn't matter. But nevertheless on the same lap, and as Henrik Høyer is now going to spend, believe me, quite a while in the pit lane, because he has to fix a lot of suspension damage, I believe. Peter Munkholm will probably catch up now, so he's almost a lap behind. In third position overall, and of course in LMP1 as well, we have Nikolaj Pedersen in the Aston Martin LMP1/2. Nikolaj Pedersen's Aston Martin has, to be honest, frankly, seen better days this evening, but it's still out there running, and that's the important bit, not in the pit lane. He's in third position, as I said. He's 1 lap down compared to Peter Munkholm in second position. Then we have Jeppe Rasmussen. He's just getting out of the pit lane again here now. He's 2 laps down compared to third position, so he's on lap 54. And that brings him in total almost 4 laps behind the leader of LMP1. That's actually all the LMP1 cars we have left. We had quite a few more at the start of the race. We had 6 participants, I believe. We had Santana, or as you might better know him, Carsten da Silva, in a blue Epsilon SKD racing car. He DNF'd. I don't really know why. I think he crashed. Sorry. Also, a guy who is DNF'd, or did not finish, that is Henning Petersen in the only diesel car on the field, actually, the Audi R15 TDI. He hit a wall somewhere and damaged the car very badly, and that ended his race. That was before the rain came, I must stress. Then we move into the GT1 category. Alex Ries is in front in GT1. This whole rain thing that started just about 20 minutes ago, and it started very, very rapidly, and then it just rained like hell, and everybody had to scramble for the pits to change into rain tires. Alex Ries actually got incredibly good out of that. He handled that very professionally, and it has earned him quite a few seconds, to be honest, or quite a few minutes, if we're totally honest here, in the scoreboard. He waited, Alex Ries, he waited until the last moment, looking whether or not it was necessary to change into the wet tires. It became obvious very quickly that it was necessary. But also what's happening now, it looked like he's struggling with the wet tires. It's not really that wet out there anymore. You can see only a part of the time the car is kicking up spray, and it looks like the rear tires are really, really warm because it's squirreling a lot on the braking. And you see him changing his line very quickly on purpose to catch some water to cool down the tires. Anyway, in second position of GT1 we have Christian Johansen in the Lamborghini Murcielago. Christian Johansen is 28 seconds down from Alex Ries. Alex Ries won around 20-24 seconds on this whole rain procedure, a pit stop thing. and the rest of the time, remaining for 5 seconds, that's the time Alex Riis has driven away from the second position in pure pace, really. Alex Riis has done really well in these very difficult wet conditions. From second position down to third position in GT1, we have Kasper Hougaard. You can see second position in the background there, so almost an entire lap separating them. We're talking around a minute and minute and 55 seconds, 2 minutes from second position down to third position. Then from third to fourth, there's quite a bit of a bigger jump. We have Ben Juul. He's on fourth position. He's done 48 laps, and he's on lap 49 now. He's 2 laps down compared to third position. And then we have the last guy running this evening is Frank Kaubeck, our northern German friend, in the Corvette C6R. And he hasn't been very quick this evening as usual, but he has coped really well with this rain thing, and it's brought him back up in the field, and he isn't as far behind as he was before the rain, actually. That's very impressive. Henning Petersen, this is the list of guys who aren't with us anymore. Henning Petersen in the Audi R15, he crashed out. Then Gert Nielsen in the Aston Martin DBR9. Gert Nielsen and Ben Juul, here he is. They were actually racing very closely the first hour or so until Gert Nielsen, he crashed out of the race. So he's not with us anymore. Guys also missing, as I said, Santana or Carsten da Silva in the Epsilon SKD racing car. And also Lars Gramberg in the Toyota TS030 hybrid car. He didn't even make it to the start line. As well didn't Matthias Ting in an Aston Martin DBR9. So that is the standing with 1 hour remaining of the race. I've been jabbering for so long that we only have 53 minutes remaining now. And what I'm doing here is I'm recording the race I'm recording my voice for the guys who are going to watch the race afterwards. There's only going to be the last hour recorded here, guys. Sorry. It's because the program I use to broadcast this thing with has begun to cost money, and one of the features removed. They removed the features one by one, slowly, to force you to buy a license. And one of the things removed is the correct audio codec, so I can't save any sound anymore without buying a license, and that license isn't exactly cheap. So that also means this is going to be the last live streamed race, partly because the program now costs money. The license to use the streaming program costs money, but also partly because I'm doing this alone. It takes quite a bit of effort, and frankly it isn't that interesting doing it all alone. So it's been fun, and it's a nice tool to review your driving afterwards, but it's too much effort for me to do it alone, with the program beginning to cost money and stuff now. So I hope you respect that, and I'm going to be spending my time enhancing the car pack and the track for the 20-hour race, so it's not like I will be wasting my time. Anyway, here's Ben Juul. He's about to be overtaken by Henrik Høyer. Henrik Høyer hits the dirt there, and he's in the dirt again. Just before I started recording my voice here for the last hour, Henrik Høyer hit the wall very, very hard after Eau Rouge, the first very daunting corner of the circuit. And to be honest with you, that could have been a showstopper for him. He was lucky that the car survived, but it has cost him his first position. As even though that Peter Munkholm, whom we see here in this Acura ARX02A, that's a catchy name. He has been in the pit lane a tremendous amount of times, really. I think he's made 4 or 5 pit stops already, and we still have more than 45 minutes remaining, and he'll probably have to do a stop more to have enough fuel to finish the race. That means he'll have stopped at least 5 or 6 times, and still he's in front. Peter Munkholm got caught out by the rain at a very, very bad time, because he'd actually just been in changing his tyres into new dry tyres. 3 laps later it began to rain like hell, and he had to go in again and change it into wet tyres, so that's 30 seconds right out the drain. But anyway, he's in front now, as I said, and with quite a margin down to second position, Henrik Højer. So, we now have 49 minutes and 45 seconds remaining, and we've driven 60 laps of the race. Leader Peter Munkholm has driven 6 laps, he's on lap 61, and I'm expecting him to end up at around 75 laps. Here's the Aston Martin AMR. AMR? No, that's not the one. It's the Lola Aston Martin DBR 1-2. And as I said earlier, this car of Nicola Pedersen, it has seen better days. It's really quite beat up in the bodywork, and on some miraculous behalf, the headlights are still working on that thing, even though we can't see any. But they are just. Oh! And the car slides for Van Kouwbeek there. The Corvette slides to the outside because of the rain, and that takes Jeppe Rasmussen. He was in the middle of overtaking the Corvette on the outside, and the slide for Van Kouwbeek then unfortunately means that he takes the LMP car with him. Didn't hit the LMP car as bad, but here's Van Kouwbeek, and that Corvette did suffer a small blow to the tail region here, as you can clearly tell. That'll buff right out. It's not that bad, it's nothing but fiberglass, but anyway, it doesn't look that great. Van Kouwbeek has actually made up quite a bit of territory, so to speak, in combination with all this rain, and he isn't as far behind as he was early on in the rain, when the dry weather really allowed for a high pace of the quicker cars. Looks like both his rear lights have given up, though. That's not a good thing. Here's Jeppe Rasmussen, he's in the pit lane. That's probably because of the calamity he had with Van Kouwbeek half a lap ago or so. Alex Ries is in the pit lane as well. That's actually a bit surprising. Alex Ries was front runner in GT1 until recently. He's now pitted in, and that means that Christian Hansen is leading the GT1 category. Bear in mind that he probably has to change his tyres as well, at least go in for more fuel in the near future. So Chris Dunn's in the lead of GT1 now. He'll probably gain almost an entire lap on Alex Ries before he gets out of the pit lane again. Here's Kasper Hougaard. He's not even catched up to Alex Ries yet. He was quite a bit behind Chris Johansson as well. Alex Ries is rolling again. And he's out of the pit lane now. There he goes. He's off the speed limiter. Chris Johansson, he's going through the Lefagnes corners. He's going down to Stavelot now. So now it is Chris Dunn's turn to make a last pit stop. We have 44.5 minutes remaining of racing here now. More or less, it's I should probably add 30 seconds to my time here. So just under 45 minutes remaining. And to finish that in one stint is, I'm not sure, entirely likely to happen for Alex Ries. That probably means he has to hit the pit lane again for a splash and dash, and that might be unlucky for him. Chris Duns, on the other hand, he's probably, if he goes on for a few more laps, he'll be in the pit lane soon enough to finish the race on that last pit stop. And that will of course be a huge handicap for Alex Ries. Here's Kasper Hougaard, the already crowned champion of the GT1 category. The championship standings are not able to move anywhere. Kasper Hougaard has already won the GT1 championship, and so as well has Henrik Høyer. He's won the LMP1 championship and of course the overall championship, I believe. But nevertheless, Peter Moncombe is the guy in front at the moment, and by quite a bit it seems, because Peter Moncombe is going down to the Combs corners now, and Henrik Høyer, he isn't even done with lap number 64, so Peter Moncombe has a huge gap behind him, and he's not even in a hurry to keep Henrik Høyer away from him. Here is Nikolaj Pedersen. He's braking for the bus stop chicane right here. Nikolaj Pedersen is a single lap behind second position Henrik Høyer. So that's a lap plus this distance, because Nikolaj Pedersen is in the hairpin now and Henrik Høyer is in the middle of the start and finish straight. So a lap plus that. So Henrik Høyer's second position is quite a safe place for the moment as well. And we now have a gap between first and second position actually. Peter Moncombe crossing the line at the moment, but the last gap was 1 minute and 24 seconds. That's of course a race now because he crosses the line, and we'll have to make a new split time. But 1.5 minutes of gap for Henrik Høyer, that's down to Henrik Høyer. That's a lot of gap for Peter Moncombe, and he should be able to take it easy. If of course he doesn't have an extra pit stop compared to Henrik Høyer. It looks like that was Chris Johansson who was just off the circuit a bit there. That's not the quickest route to take, to be completely honest with you. But still, he's a lot in front of Alex Rees, and still Chris Dons hasn't been in the pit lane. Now we're down to just under 41 minutes remaining of the race, and he hasn't been in the pit lane yet for his last pit stop, and that probably does mean that it will be his last pit stop. Whereas with Alex Rees here on second position in LMP1, I'm not quite sure. He might not be able to make that on a single stop. He might opt to make a splash and dash, he might opt to short shift this entire stint. But 45, 47 minutes on a tank of petrol in that car, that's a tall order. But interesting nonetheless to see who will come out on top of that. Chris Dons is now in the pit lane, and as I've mentioned before I started recording, the pit lane at Spa-Francorchamps is incredibly long. So sometimes it might not even be the best thing to save time on a pit stop, because you spend so much time initially just going into the pit lane, finding your pit stall, stopping, and then getting out again once the work is done. That once you're in there, you might as well just get it all fixed. But here's Chris Dons is stopping now. There he is. He's standing still in his box. Again, it does look a lot like Chris Dons is actually using the automated AI thing that drives your car in the pit lane. Here comes Alex Rees, very wide. That's interesting line he uses there. I think Alex Rees is battling a lot with that car because he is still on wet tires, but the car isn't all that wet anymore. So those guys are probably overheating quite rapidly. But Alex Rees is going into the last corner now, into the La Source hairpin, and he's going past the pit lane in just a few moments. Chris Dons still standing still in pit lane, so first position will be his in a moment. There we go. Alex Rees is in front again of GT1. Chris Dons in the pit lane, filling it up, putting new tires on it, otherwise he wouldn't have been there for so long. There's 38.5 minutes remaining, and there's no doubt that Chris Dons will be able to finish the race on this fuel. Unless he's a complete nutter and hasn't tanked enough, of course, but I presume he has a head. But Alex Rees does have a job in front of him. Oh wait, that's not right. Alex Rees is on dry tires. He has been in. That's what I've been saying all along. Sorry, he is on dry tires, but he did pick in with around 47, 48 minutes remaining of the race, and it might be very close to it not being possible for him to finish the race on the fuel he took on there. Oh, and definitely not if he keeps driving like that. That's a bit too interesting. Chris Dons Johansson is in hot pursuit now. He just got through the Lecombes corners. He's down in Rivage, the 180-degree right-hand big hairpin. Alex Rees going through Stavelot up to Blanchimont. Oh, and that car looks very much alive. The circuit isn't entirely dry yet, but it has stopped raining, that's for sure. Kasper Holgaard, after Chris Johansson's stop, he's on the same lap as the other guys, and 29.5 minutes down. It does sound like, though, he's taking it nice and easy, and his lap times does suggest that he's a couple of seconds slower than the other two guys. I haven't seen him in the pit lane lately, but I don't believe that he will be able to finish the race on what he has. No, the last time he was in the pit lane, that was on lap 50, which was 17 minutes to 10. So that's around 25 minutes ago. So he will definitely not be able to finish this race on the fuel, as he's at least halfway through his stint. Chris Donaldson, on the other hand, he's going the whole way. And Alex Rees, we don't really know. Anyway, let's have a look at some other cars here. Henrik Høyer is actually in front in LMP1 now. Peter Munkholm is in the pit lane. He's taking that famous stop we've been talking about. Peter Munkholm might also have to stop extraordinarily compared to Henrik Høyer. So Henrik Høyer might actually win that back. Henrik Høyer has been in the pit lane already. That's very clearly visible after his crash. He went straight in there to repair some suspension damage, I believe. Peter Munkholm, he's rolling again now. The Acura leaving the pit stall. And he's out of there, and he's off the limiter, and off he goes. That is a nice looking car. That's an evil prototype, that's for sure. Well, that was no doubt Peter Munkholm's last stop. Henrik Høyer, I'm not sure when he stopped the last time. His last stop was on lap 56, and that was 13 minutes to 10. So 13 minutes to 10, that means that he has to pit in now, obviously. So Henrik Høyer is in the pit lane now. Peter Munkholm is trying to catch up. He's going for the Buffon corner now, the very quick left-hand corner on the inside of the circuit. He's going through the Le Fagnes corner. Down to Stavelot now. Henrik Høyer is already leaving the pit lane again. Oh, he isn't. He's first. Oh, he's only in his stall now. There's no doubt that Peter is going to get past him now, that's for sure. Henrik Høyer's leaving now. That was quick. Very quick. That was obviously only fuel, no tires. He's going all out on this one. Henrik Høyer is leaving the pit lane now. He's off the limiter. Here comes Peter Munkholm. He's going down the start and finish straight for the Formula cars. These two guys are going to be divided by something along the lines of 20-25 seconds, I believe. More. 30, 35. .1 seconds are dividing first and second position now. They have both just been in the pit lane. They are both on their final run to this finish line of the race. We have 32 minutes remaining. That's clean racing now, friends. Question is whether or not Henrik Høyer will be able to fend off Peter Munkholm. The fastest lap time suggests that Peter Munkholm is able to go a tiny bit quicker, but what we saw in the start of the race was actually that Henrik Høyer was the quickest man on the circuit. Well, only time will tell from now on, that's for sure. These two guys will have to race it out to find out who's the winner now. These pit stops won't do anything now. Nikolaj Pedersen is in the pit lane as well, doing his last stop. He's in third position. He's one lap down compared to the other two guys. So on a safe third position. Jeppe Rasmussen is in the Buffon corner, overtaking Ben Juhl here. He's in fourth position. He's 2 laps down, so his position is even more secure. Now we're back to GT1. That's Alex Ries. He's in first position. And he has a long way down to Chris Dons now. After Chris Dons made his pit stop. Almost... no, that's not right. My timing is saying something funny. That's not right. Kasper Haugaard is on third position, 28.5 seconds behind Chris Johansson. Here comes Alex Ries, he's going for Stavelot. It's really getting dark now, actually. It also looks like the circuit is drying up slowly but steadily. It stopped raining quite a few minutes ago. We now have 29 minutes and 50 seconds remaining of the race, so less than half an hour of this 3-hour endurance run is remaining. And it's really come down to the wire. First position in LMP1, that's going to be decided by pure racing. And the gap between first and second position is actually all the way down to 17.8 seconds already, which is actually quite impressive. Henrik Høyer spent some extra time going out of the pit lane, so that has of course made his outlap slower. So the first 20 seconds of that 36 second gap just before has just been handed to Peter Munkholm because of the outlap of Henrik Høyer. So 17-18 seconds, that's what they're battling about now. And first position is going to be decided on clear racing pace. Who's the quickest now? The GT1 category is less predictable. The whole thing depends on whether or not Alex Ries will make this thing go all the way home. And Chris Dons, believe me, he is on the hunt. Here's Alex Ries, he's in the poo for on corners. 1 minute. And here's Chris Johansson. He's going through the combs, 31 seconds. So around half a minute is dividing these two guys. And that's it. Chris Dons is going like mad to catch up to Alex Ries, and I think Alex Ries is going rather slowly to conserve his fuel. The lap time suggests that's correct. Alex Ries is around 1.5 seconds slower per lap, and it's definitely a lot slower than what we've seen him go before. Almost 3 seconds slower than what we've seen him do in the wet conditions earlier. But they are approaching normal race pace now. Chris Dons only 1.5 seconds off of his best lap time, and Alex Ries around 2.5 seconds off of his best lap time, as I just mentioned before. Now there he crosses the line. That's a 1:15.1. 31.99 seconds between these two guys. Here comes Chris Johansson. Oh, Henrik Høyer on the outside. He actually scrubs his car a bit against the wall there. And Frank Kauberg, he runs himself off the track there just to add a bit to the mix. So 3 cars wide through La Source, that's interesting. Chris Dons' last lap time was 1:13.8, so he's going a lot quicker than Alex Ries in the Ferrari, but Alex Ries does have quite a bit of a gap to give away from. Boy, this is getting interesting. This is Ben Jewell in his Team Conning Racing 3 car. Oh, very wide over the curb there. We've discussed that earlier, and it's very dangerous indeed, especially when it's raining. There's so little grip out there that your car might just plow straight ahead and you end up in a wall somewhere. Ben Jewell, he is in 4th position in GT1, but he is 2 laps down compared to the top 3. So nothing is really any threat to him. Frank Kouwbeek has fallen back a bit. The rain did benefit him, as I've been talking about. But Frank Kouwbeek is now 5 laps behind Ben Jewell again. He was only 2 laps behind him at some point, but once the circuit is starting to dry up, the other guys just goes a lot quicker than he does. Oh, and he is taking it nice and easy, that's for sure. But that also does affect his lap times. Henrik Høyer is still in the lead. Peter Munkholm is racing him down. There's about 16 seconds between them, it seems. The timing says 12.88 seconds, so Peter Munkholm, and he's actually clearly the quickest guy at the moment, Peter Munkholm, even though we have seen Henrik Høyer be the quickest earlier on. Peter Munkholm around 1.5 seconds quicker that lap. He only has 24 minutes to hunt down Henrik Høyer. That's not a lot, considering that he has to deal with 10, 15 seconds. They aren't far separated now. Yes, Henrik Høyer is going through the bus stop. Peter Munkholm is going through Blanchimont. He's in the bus stop now as well. This is unbelievably close. Peter Munkholm, he'll have to pass Nikolai Pedersen in just a moment, and that's actually going to be with a lap, I believe. They really are close now. Here's Henrik Høyer, he's on the top of the hill straight. And here's Peter Munkholm. The time between them is 12.55. Their last lap times were divided by around half a second. 0.3 something. 0.328. So that's a third of a second between them, and Peter Munkholm is still the quickest of the two. That's not going to be enough if he wants to catch up in this race with the remaining time he has. Also a funny sight to see both Peter Munkholm and Nikolai Pedersen trying around with steaming hot braking discs, both of them. Henrik Høyer's setup seems to be a bit more friendly to the brake discs. Oh, Peter Munkholm is really going for it now. He's going up through Stavolo, and he's going for the Blanchimont corner now. Almost done with another lap. He's on Koya, he's in the bus stop. Peter Montgomery is only 2 seconds down on the quickest lap time, actually. Even though it's still damp out there, I'd call it. Here's Henrik Høyer, he passes the line now. That gap to me appeared like 11 something seconds. Yeah, 11.69. So Peter is still gaining. Both of their lap times were actually around a second slower than last time around. But Peter did gain 0.9 seconds that lap. This is getting incredibly interesting now. Because in a few laps he will be within 5 seconds, but he only has 20 minutes to catch up and pass Henrik Høyer, and certainly Henrik Høyer isn't going to just let him pass without a fight. If we just have a look at the GT1 category for a short while here, Alex Ries is still in front. He is the leader of GT1. Christoph Johansen is in second position. He's not far behind. He's going through the Lefagne corners in just a moment. Alex Ries, he's going through Blanchimont now. So it's not very far, but still plenty to last the way home. If Alex Ries does not have to make an extra pit stop, that's the question still. He's not going in yet, that's for sure. We'll just have a look at what the gap is now between Alex Ries and Chris Dons. It looks more or less unchanged. Alex Ries is going to cross the line now, and the gap between them is 26.35. Oh, Nikolai Pedersen hitting the wall very hard there indeed. Oh, that wet circuit just... oh, and he has to watch out now he doesn't get hit by someone. The wet circuit tricked him and he just slid off, right off the circuit and into the wall through the Rouge corner. I probably would have killed you in real life, I suspect. Not a mistake you want to do again. Oh, the fight between Henrik Høyer and Peter Montgomery heating up. The last gap we have is 10.3, so getting ever closer. Here's Henrik Høyer. He's going to break for the bus stop now. He's going through. Here comes Peter Montgomery. He's going through Blanchimont. Oh, it's getting close now. It looks like Peter is 9 or 10 seconds behind now. We'll have a time in just a moment. Henrik Høyer is going up the Rouge. Here comes Peter Montgomery. He's going to start and finish straight. And past the line. The time says 8.64. Henrik Høyer seems to be losing the pace now, and if that's the ratio, Peter Montgomery is going to be winning this. Nikolaj Pedersen is going for the pit lane after his huge shunt in Eau Rouge just before now. Nikolaj Pedersen is probably the guy who's been in the pit lane the most times in this race. In total. It's crazy. I think he's been in 6 or 7 times now. Jeppe Rasmussen is not close enough to catch up to Nikolaj Pedersen because of that, though, so Nikolaj Pedersen will remain on his 3rd position. Alex Ries is in the Combs. I excuse my bad Fresh or Flandish or whatever it is they speak in Belgium. It's going through Rivage now. And here comes Christian Jansen. I have an eye on the time in the bottom there. That's 20 seconds. It's 19 or 20 seconds behind Christian, so he's gaining actually, Christian's on Alex Ries. Alex Ries has just slowed right the hell down as well. He's doing 2:16.7 was his last lap time, and Christian's last lap time was 2:14.49. So Christian's a lot quicker, and the gap between them is diminishing rather rapidly, but I suspect it's something Alex has to do if he wants to stay out of the pit lane. Peter Moncombe really close now. He's 6.5 seconds behind Henrik Høyer. Henrik Høyer getting ever so slightly under more pressure the entire time. They can just about see each other now. Peter Montgomery is down in some very respectable lap times by now, actually. He's the only car in the entire field who's below 2 minutes 2 seconds right now. He has the fastest lap time when it was dry before, of 1 minute 59.9, so he's the only guy below 2 minutes as well. But he's less than 1.5 seconds off of that best lap time, even though it's quite damp out there as well. Still quite damp out there. If you don't remain on the racing line, still quite a lot of water outside the trail. Here's Henrik Høyer, going very wide through Blanchimont, and he's braking for the chicane now. Oh, it looks like Nikolaj Pedersen might get a bit in his way. It's not really lucky with that, Henrik Høyer. Here comes Peter Moncombe. They can barely see each other now. Peter Moncombe will have to get past Ben Jewell as well. They're going down the front straight. Let's get the new timing. Oh, the new time is 3 seconds point 7. It's getting really close now. Peter Moncombe is going on the outside of Ben Jewell. Look at how much downforce he's using. He can barely get past that GT1 car. Into the Combs very rapidly indeed. Through Kemmel. No, that's not Kemmel, sorry. That's Malmedy. Down into Rivage, the 180-degree right turn. Here's Henrik Høyer, he's going for the Buffon corners. Peter Moncombe is right behind him. They can see each other now. Nikolaj Pedersen staying out of the way. He's saying, "This is your battle, I don't want to be part of it, get away from me." Nikolaj Pedersen has had enough problems as is. And it's only fair, he's not a contender for the top 2 anyway. Far from it actually, he's 3 laps down by now because of his little accident there. I'll just have a small check up on the GT1 category. There's 19.6 seconds from Alex Ries down to Chris Dons now. 19.6. It's still only a matter of whether or not Alex Ries will have to go into the pit lane. We have 10.5 minutes remaining of the racing now. So very little time left to do this thing in. Peter Moncombe will have to make every single corner count to get to Henrik Hoyer in time. And believe me, he's doing everything he can. We are now almost watching them on the same camera. Here's Peter Moncombe. They're both on lap 50 now. Lap 80, sorry, so a bit more than 75 laps, I guessed. Oh, it looks like one of the GT1 cars gotten in the way. There's 5.1 seconds between them now. Henrik Hoyer has actually put his foot to the metal. Put his foot to the metal. And Peter Moncombe quite a bit slower than the last lap times we've seen him do, actually 2 seconds. And Henrik Hoyer, he's also shaved around 1 second off of his lap time, so on the last lap, Henrik Hoyer was actually the quickest. And we are above 5 seconds again, just. Still very close though. Oh, Peter goes actually a little wide entering Lecombes. That's not Lecombes, I keep messing up the corners now. That's called Lefagne, sorry. Here's Henrik Hoyer, he's going for Blanchimont. We can actually see the headlights on the same cameras now. That's through Blanchimont, full speed. That's pedal to the metal. Braking hard for bus stop, turning in, slowest corner of the circuit. There comes Peter Moncombe in the background, look at him. These guys are so close now. Let's just have a short check-up on GT1 now. Alex Ries is still in the lead. And he's still going incredibly slowly. His last lap time was 2 minutes 16.1, so a full 3 seconds slower than Chris Johansson. You can see that the gap between them isn't that big anymore, actually. Alex Ries is going through Lefagne corners now, and Chris Dons is going through Pouchon with full speed ahead, to be honest. Oh, there's not much dividing them now. Also, just behind him we have Kasper Holgaard, but they aren't battling because Kasper Holgaard is a lap down. So Kasper Holgaard would have to overtake that Lamborghini just in front of him and then do another lap to be near him. But these two guys, they are on the same lap. Alex Ries is braking now for the bus stop corner. Here comes Chris Johansson. He's not far behind. I'd love to see just what the gap between these two guys is now. In the background I can hear Frank Kaubeck's Corvette rumbling. He's just in front of these two guys. Yes, Alex Ries is going through a whoosh. Chris Dons, there's 14.4 seconds between them. So the gap diminishing rather rapidly now. Oh, and talking of gaps diminishing, this is the gap between the two guys in the lead. This is the fight for first position, people, with 2 minutes and 54, 2 hours and 54 minutes driven. This is what it comes down to. 7 minute battle for the lead. Me and my hours and minutes. They're both now on lap 82, and there's 1.1 second between them. That's it. But Peter Montcalm is actually by far the quickest right now. He was more than 2 seconds quicker than Henrik Høyer on that last lap. More than 2 on a single lap. Oh, Henrik Høyer will have his work cut out for him defending against that. That's incredible. Oh, Nikolaj Pedersen's car really looking out of shape again. This just hasn't been his day. He really has the record for time spent in the pit lane this race. That's no doubt. He's been the guy that's been in there for the most now. Back to the battle. This is Peter Montcalm chasing down Henrik Høyer for the lead. It's not going to be championship deciding in no way, because Peter Montcalm doesn't even have any LMP1 points. But it's incredible racing. They are bumper to bumper now. He's going for the inside. Oh, they're touching. They both remain on the circuit. They're going too wide through Stavalo. Oh, and he actually survives that without much of a nick. Peter Montcalm very aggressively on the inside there. That's incredible. Oh, and Henrik Høyer is all over his tail to try and get back at him. Oh, Peter Montcalm outdoes it. He outbrakes himself. Oh, and he closes the door right in Henrik Høyer's face. That's incredible. They are neck and neck now, coming down the back straight with the Formula 1 starting grid. They're braking for the last hairpin. La Source. Oh, and Henrik Høyer takes him on the outside. That's amazing. How the hell did he do that? He got so much more grip there that he took Peter Montcalm on the outside. That's it! That was the end of the race! No way! That can't be true. My